Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 100 Days of Primal Fear. An insane overhaul mod where anything can happen. Griffins that are straight from the underworld. There's mega shellons with cannons strapped onto their faces. And there's orgies that cause explosions. These are just some of the crazy creatures you can find in this mod. But now just take a look at this enormous blue boy right here. This is Pikkon's revenge. The final boss of Primal Fear that I had to take down. With many billions of health points, this is no easy task. But before we could even think of fighting him, we first had to defeat these demonic rebranders: Celestial Indominus, Nova, the Destroyer, Pikkon the Creator, along with so many more dangerous dinosaurs that could probably just one-shot me. Now, I had never played this mod before recording this supercut, so this should be interesting. You are about to see me die a lot during this movie, okay? And you're going to see me struggle and suffer so ridiculously much. So you better subscribe, okay? Because, like I said, this supercut was not easy to make. But with all that said, let us get started on a cold beach on the modded map of Shigo Islands. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 100 Days and 200 Days supercut, Primal Fear.
Alright. This is Primal Fear. Perhaps one of, if not the most requested mod on my channel.
What is that?
We're going to do 100 days in this, and I have no idea how this mod works. I have no idea how to progress in this mod. I have no idea what the things in this mod does. This is going to be one crazy adventure.
Indeed, I had no clue how to play this mod, as this was my first time at it. But I sure do know how to progress in this game. And in no time, I had a bow, clothes, arrows, and I saw my very first Primal Fear creature.
That dodo seems very big.
I'm deaf.
That is an enormous dodo.
I did not yet know how powerful this giant red dodo could be, but I knew that I had to take it down to prove to everyone that I was the alpha male of this beach. Toward the end of the day, I had a couple of foundations down surrounded by spikes, and I took on the red dodo.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yes!
After taking it down, I found that I could make primal spears that have the same effects as trank arrows, so I carved a few just in case this was something that I wanted to tame. I also got some food cooked up so I wouldn't starve, and then it became day 2.
Oh, I need a PT to progress, so you there. 180! Oh, in other cases I'd be more than happy with that. You know what? Let's grab the 180.
In other cases, you say? Yeah, well, regarding this being a crazy mod, I also cranked the total maximum level up from 150 up to 300. So, if you find like a 180 like this PT right here, right? That is nothing too crazy. Something which is a bit crazy though is this, my mans.
What is that? What the f is that?
Ah! Woo! Yo! That like a grenade. Oh!
But all good, since I now had the awesome spyglass, which is a very good tool to see just what kind of modded kibble these dinos need to get tamed. Which I'll explain that whole system works with the kibble a bit later in this video. But then I saw just how good the spears are by taming this parasaur. I also took down another alpha dodo to discover something pretty good.
Oh! You're joking! You're joking! Damn! Okay.
After my dinos got tamed, I just parked them at my base because I wanted to take down an alpha parasaur I saw. Considering the loot we got from that one alpha dodo, I thought that I would get something even better from taking down an alpha parasaur, which I fought during the night.
No. Where did all of my HP go? Down. Where did my HP go?
On day 3, I took it out.
Yes. Defeat. Still just armor blue. I'm sorry, what? Durability 1300.
Now remember, I'm out here being excited over something so measly as 2000 durability because my monkey brain was still hardwired to vanilla progression. So seeing something like this made me extremely happy. So I kept taking down alphas and toxic for their loot and to level up. As this was a very fast and efficient way to like I said, level up. During all this, I also got a PT set and went out exploring a little bit. And I saw just how insane this mod pack truly was.
What? What? That's a... Oh, that's... It's a Quetzal just... He took one bite. That Bracky barely survived. Oh. Should have just died.
On day 4 I took down a very injured Alpha Bronze and PT for some levels, but got f*** all, as it dropped no loot. Later I also tried taking down an Apex Thorny Dragon, but I just let it be as I was sure that it could just one-shot us if it wanted to. At night I explored more of the map, and I saw my first Celestial on D5. Really, the real reason I was exploring this map was to find a proper base location that I could call home. But every good looking spot had either a giant thing that could one-shot me or a giant thing that could... Drumroll please! Two-shot me! Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? I traveled back home, but I saw and killed this droidica for some insane resources, really.
Raw smelted metal! Okay.
On day 6 I found a great spot where I wanted my base to be. I thought that it was very safe and had a great natural view of the surroundings. Emphasis on the word thought, gentlemen. So, I got to work chopping trees, placing some foundations as spam to block wild dino spawns, and slowly moving my stuff inside the parasaur from one place to the other. Day 7, and while I was still getting stuff from one location to the other, I fought an Apex Dillo. Now, yeah, this was just a Dilophosaur, but it put up quite the fight and nearly killed us.
Damn!
I also discovered a very interesting loot drop on my base.
The dodo. It's a holy dodo.
The rest of day 7 was spent exploring as I needed some crystal for some Pokeballs. And I searched far and wide, every mountain in sight, but all I found was more explosions and danger. And an apparent primal Kentra with a boss music tuned to it. I also saw that you could now knock out tame wyverns. Oh, and that Fjordhawks are now aggressive toward everything. At nighttime, after searching and finding not a single bit of crystal, I found the biggest Oppenheimer fan yet. And so I kept searching far and wide, checking out mountain after mountain, finding ferocious Indominus Rexes, mega monkeys with 3 million HP, and I stumbled across a very impressive cave. And considering I was looking for crystal, I went inside.
Crystal? I think there's no crystal here. Cool, we wasted even more time. Even more time.
And then, finally, I found some tiny, just minuscule crystal nodes. No wonder that I couldn't find anything before. I then returned to my parasaur after crafting some soul balls from the soul ball mold, and finally, I could settle down at my new base. As the night turned into day 9, I started placing down a couple of structures that would be useful, and I knocked out and tamed a couple of dodos. Now, ladies and gentlemen that are watching, I can explain how the kibble system works. The kibble system in Primal Fear is very straightforward for most, but extremely overwhelming for new beginners. So let me explain how this goes. Let's say that you want to tame that alpha poison wyvern we saw. Then you would need alpha kibble. Alpha kibble is crafted by getting eggs from the previous tier of dino. So toxic eggs. And you can tame toxic dinos with toxic kibble, which is crafted from regular good old vanilla eggs. And now look at this little progression line I made for you all. Like I said, you need the eggs from the previous tier of dinos to progress upwards. Oh, and of course, before I forget it, you need to use crops. You need to farm in this game. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's how Primal Fear works. You got that? Great, let's continue. I was on this mountain looking for even more crystal for Primal Smithy, which you need to craft the different types of kibbles in the mods.
Go. Oh my!
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble.
Oh, when you die once in Primal Fear, you can't be certain that you won't die again, as I learned soon enough.
What? Why? Why did you suddenly? Why? I sense a death compilation coming in. I don't want to sense that. Whoa! No! No! Please drop some stuff. No! Oh. Okay, we made it off. What's the option here? Do we go overseas or do we tame a PT? Tame PT. Oh! Oh! Goodness! Oh! No! Ah! An Indominus. Okay, Reaper Queen. Jump off, jump off, jump off, jump off. Okay, good. Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah, much better. Okay, okay, okay. Jump. No, too early. No. No. Ah! Come on! Come on! Oh my god.
No, on day 10 I finally had my stuff. And humiliated, that's how I felt here, humiliated. I got in a canoe and started sailing to Fukuso. But I couldn't even get home. Because if you remember correctly, there were Karchars, Reapers, Rock Drakes and so much more on that island. So I had to look for a PT to tame first.
Das gibt eine Anzeige.
Oh. Lure him away! Okay, where's this? Okay, reduce the food, reduce the food. Okay. Yes, finally!
Well, that was unnecessarily stressful. Oh, and it wouldn't even have mattered that much, because that Karchar I talked about, yeah, he's dead. Died to some overgrown parrots with elemental powers. Day 11 and I finally got a couple of forges placed down. Before circling my island and finding out... Yeah, this place is extremely dangerous. Way too dangerous, with death around every corner. But I desperately needed metal. So I put away all of my gear and went out with just a single metal pick. One successful run. And we got the Primal Smithy. Very nice. And now I just did it again. This time feeling a little bit more confident. Foggy night. And I went on run number 3. Which was successful once more. And I figured out that these rocks with cracks are the ones that give a lot of crystals. Oh, and I realized that it maybe would be best to have some beds. So I obviously got those placed down. And I tested it out.
Yeah, the beds are working. Wonderful.
I got myself a beautiful set of armor, okay? Alpha Flak armor. Very nice.
Check it out.
Anyways, I got a couple of wooden foundations and I started chopping down trees and crushing rocks to make planter boxes. Because what good would these trees do for me simply standing in the ground? I need to make a profit out here. And I'll chop down as many trees as I need to. Once those were all placed down, the next step would have to be irrigation pipes. A process I already dread with all of my heart. I then saw what I needed to get the first bit of kibble on a progression line. Toxic kibble. And yes, I need crops. Day 13 and I got a couple of grapples, the irrigation pipes, then I placed them. You know, all I need now is fertilizer and TheNotable. Once more, traveled the map. And I looted a lot of beaver dams around the big swamp on the island with the big cave. This map, Chigo Islands, is huge. And traveling is not an easy task in little PT. I can't wait to upgrade to something better. Day 15 and I was back home, and I went around harvesting every bush in sight for all the different vegetable seeds. I also got the toilet made up, and after fixing it, I went crazy on the toilet. Once the crops were nice and fertilized, I just had to wait for them to grow. So I started crafting up some potent narcotics. Oh yeah, Primal Fear has different tiers to trank arrows. You can now upgrade normal narcotics with different kinds of items, but usually the blood of a strong creature. Day 18. And all I had to do now was to wait for the crops to grow. So I quickly logged out and installed a stacking mod that increased the total amount of one stack and decreased the overall weight of things. Considering that I had to wait, I went out with my PT again, looking for oil veins on the ground. So I traveled to the snow, and looked, and searched, looked some more, for absolutely nothing. So I had to resort to the most brokey method of getting oil yet. Trilobites. I had to kill trilobites and harvest them. Oh man, that day, day 19, I murdered so many trilobites.
Ah!
Oh shit, here we go again.
So close to home! Such absurdity. That's mother. Oh. Wait!
Day 20, and I had PT number 3 knocked out. Slowly I'm getting sick and tired of this. But all good though, as I made a fabricator when I got home. That day I found something incredible. Something truly overlooked. This little droidica here. 9,000 torpor. So I made good use of my better trank arrows. And it was knocked out in no time. Finally, once it was time, I could feel confident again. Knowing that I could gun down anything standing in my way. I mean, come on! Do you really have to ask what I would do now? I gunned down countless little guys. So many mans died that day. And even a fabled dino.
Yes! Yes!
Which dropped some beautiful, just beautiful loot for me. I was happy. But that happiness was short-lived when I noticed that my soul terminal, got a few days prior, hadn't yet made any eggs. See, at that time I did not know that I had to go into my INI files of the server and copy-paste a bit of code to make this machine work the way it is supposed to. And honestly, why would I be expected to know that? I'm not a modder. I'm just a guy who plays ARK. I don't do code. I do dinosaurs. Anyways, I got a brand new pistol for my little murder spree with Arnold. And I loaded it up. And I'll be real here. These pistols are really underrated. That day ended by going on a fat metal run. Now that I had Arnold, I no longer needed to worry about dying. And it felt nice getting home with 3,000 unsmelted metal. Which I put in the forges. I also got my first toxic kibble. That one toxic kibble only took me 22 days to craft. Woohoo! But now finally, on day 22, I got my first toxic dino. A little green dodo with very shiny eyes.
Progress.
After getting that dodo home, I got another kibble and now I looked for a female to start egg production. But that was easier said than done. And I spent the whole day looking around for another toxic dodo. And at the end, something very unfortunate happened again.
No!
Luckily with Arnold, it was very easy to get back to my dead body and retrieve my stuff. See, the problem wasn't necessarily finding a toxic dodo, because those were everywhere. But it seemed like this map prioritized toxic zombie dodo spawns rather than normal ones, which was extremely unfortunate. But I just decided to say screw that and tame the zombie dodo variant. I also tamed yet another PT. Hooray! I eventually just decided to tame 2 toxic zombie dodos because I simply couldn't be bothered looking for another normal one. I was also questioning just how safe this base location really was.
I can't live here. I can't live here. I actually can't live here. Manticore, I can't live here.
On the morning I realized that fertilized toxic eggs, contrary to crafting toxic kibble, cannot be used to craft alpha kibble. So I really wanted this soul terminal to work and help me auto-produce eggs. But I simply couldn't figure out the issue. And I really didn't feel like logging out and back into the server to fix it. Now my big brain thought of a solution though. Taming as many toxic dodos as possible. And apparently not just toxic dodos, but a toxic turtle as well. I then killed an apex allosaurus and an apex hyenodon, because I hoped that they would leave behind some cool loot, but both of them just did not. When it was night, I crafted a tree platform and some sap taps, as I heard that sap could be an extremely useful resource in crafting stuff in Primal Fear, such as the Primal Fabricated Sniper Rifle, an amazing tool for knocking out dinos, and I wanted to start production ASAP. Day 24 and we were crafting assault rifle bullets for said sniper rifle and my toxic dodos had started laying some eggs, so I got alpha kibble as well. Day 25 and man, I didn't want to stay in the island Fukiso. It was just filled to the brim with dangerous creatures that could probably wipe me off the face of the earth. Dodo wyverns, manticores, you name it, it's been a Fukiso. So I traveled back to the cave with Dinosuchus. And this time, I had Arnold, so I cleared out everything that lived there. You see, as I was afraid of giant flying bosses, I thought that a cave would be the safest place to live. And this large, spacious cave looked perfect. There were some dangerous megalosauruses around there though, like this level 190 Alpha Megalo. Now I thought, yeah, this is perfect. I can tame the Megalosaurus to clear out the rest of the cave. And so day 26, I started knocking it out. Eventually I realized that I didn't have enough to knock out this red Megalo lady, so I traveled back to the old base to craft some new tranks. 90 potent narcotics, and some of the blue ones. Very good. And after converting them into arrows, I finished knocking out the Megalosaurus.
See, because that's blocking my path. Oh yes, go out on land. Go out on land. Yes.
Then, I placed down 2 boxes, because I would have to move my whole base of Fukiso over to the cave. Something which would be really, really annoying. I was not looking forward to it, but, like I said, it was a necessary process. In the S+ mod there's a cliff platform 1 tier under stone. A wooden cliff platform. And if I got that, I could easily deck it out with my crafting stations. Forges, really everything. Back home I obviously got the Megalo saddle, before realizing just what kind of task was ahead of me. I was already dreading having to replant my plans, moving all the blueprints and loot I had collected these past days over to the cave. But I just said,
Fuck it, we ball.
The platform also proved extremely useful. It was gigantic and would be the foundation of my permanent base. On the night of 27 I also saw just what kind of a problem I was dealing with. Killed the alpha, but I had no idea if my droning could take out the apex. So I just let it be in peace. Day 28, more moving. I also converted essentially all of my narcotics into potent narcotics. And crafted more gates to block the cave even better. I was trying to figure out how I could move all of my items easier, and I concluded that it would be better if I tried to convert as many resources as possible into crafted items. I also knew how to deal with the Apex Megalo. Just build around it, I guess.
That is my genius, it's almost frightening.
Day 29, more moving. This time I traveled with my whole primal smithy and everything that was stored inside of it. Once I was back at the previous base, I also crafted an insane God-Goliath crossbow. I also potted up all of my toxic egg producers, the dodos, and on day 30, I don't know, an interesting enemy blocked my path home though. Luckily, the apex dragon didn't see me, and I got into my base without any issues. Placed down the fabricator, generator, and smithy, and slowly this cave was becoming more and more beautiful by the second. Day 31, I got obsidian from the mountain up top, and a whole lot of wood, because I needed a new set of forges. Or better yet, this primal refining forge, which is said to be much faster than a normal forge. Yeah, it was fast, alright. But obviously, I harvested some metal around here to smelt, and I crafted more gunpowder. Unfortunately, I'm not yet done with moving bases. Nope, now I had to get my crop plots with a pickup gun and all the irrigation pipes. This was the most annoying part of moving. See, I could easily replant them, of course, but then I must wait for them to grow again. So, I just procrastinated as I usually do when I have a whole lot of tasks before me, and just tamed a couple of alpha dinos. It was now the beginning of day 34, and I managed to knock out my first alpha PTE rather easily. And while I was eating my kibble, I chose beef with this little tiny fellow.
Oh, chill bro, chill.
There was also a primal tech dino which I had to lure away so it wouldn't kill my little PT. As primal tech dinos are just beefed up, ultra caked up tech dinos that can literally just one-shot things if they wanted to. Before traveling back into my cave, I found a 140 alpha magmasaur. Now for those unfamiliar with what magmasaurs can do, let me explain why this one fellow is a game changer. Magmasaurs are excellent at harvesting metal and stone. Just one of the very best. So I got a trap, and a couple of bear traps crafted up. Got an alpha PT saddle as well. And I finally fixed the soul terminal. Day 35 and I made the worst trap ever created and lured the magmasaur inside of it.
That was one big chonker.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck!
Super sketch though.
This crossbow was amazing at knocking the guy out. Just look at their speed. One shot was more than 1,000 torpor, so I was asleep in no time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Big Lava to the family.
Nice. Big fan, big fan.
And of course, I knocked up some more alpha dinos. Alpha dimorphodons. When it was night, I looked at the next requirements for kibble. The next tier above alpha was elemental kibble. Now elemental dinos? You need a lot of those, okay? Because you need their feathers. The elemental dinos are mostly griffins, parrots, or other flappy birds. And you need 2 of each type. Or at least, I was convinced and thought that you needed 2 of each type. Day 36 and Big Lava has a saddle. Of course, I used the 2 hours metal. A whole lot of it too. You guys remember that Apex Maglo I was so afraid of a bit earlier in this video? Well, I decided that today was the day to end it.
Oh yes!
Oh, hot, 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 hot!
Dun, 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 dun.
Hot, 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 hot!
Yeah! Finally. Exterminated. Wait, we got a long neck!
That long neck was extremely useful and would be the next best thing to knock creatures out. Pretty sure that it's capped stats as well. Now of course, I crafted ammo for it, and a lot of potent tranq bullets, before going on a large wood run outside of my base. But when I tried to go back into my cave, I had some unwelcome visitors.
Oh no, no! You're pinned now!
Day 37 and I knocked out yet another alpha dimorphodon. And now, for the strangest Illuminati thing ever. Someone had joined my private Primal Fear server. How? How even? I had no idea. Last I checked, you needed an IP in your favorites list to join someone's server. But this guy just spawned out of nowhere. Luckily, Mr. Mensch was a nice guy and simply left the server after talking with him for a little bit. Unfortunately, during this, I had died, and so I flew around like a headless chicken because I simply couldn't remember where I had died. But luckily on day 38, I found and got my stuff. Besides, hey, it's all good, guys. No need to worry about a single thing or about anybody else joining. Because as soon as I got my stuff, I put the server offline and locked it behind a passcode. And then logged back in to continue playing. Oh yeah, I died again that day.
Whoa, whoa, no, no! Dodo Wyvern!
Very, very unlucky.
Nope. Oh, wow.
So I had to travel around the entire map on my slow-ass Dimorphodon.
That's so... that's...
And during the night, I tried to tame another one, but I decided not to finish the taming process. Day 39 was Alpha PT taming day, as I knocked out not 1, not 2, not or 3. No, I knocked out 4 different PTs that day. Day 40, and the cave had more dangerous things blocking my path. So I dealt with them with big lava. Though he sure took a beating this time. I saw an Alpha Fire Wyvern that day, and I wanted it. Little did I know how foolish this was. You see, at this time I didn't know how fast the torpor drop would be of one of these wyverns. Nor did I know that it had a necrotic friend nearby.
No!
So I rushed over, fed it a little bit of narcoberries, of all things, before seeing that all of my stuff was inside of a rock, glitched inside of it. How in heaven's name? And then I rushed home, got a metal pickaxe, rushed back over to the Alpha Fire Wyvern, fed it some narcotics, before...
No!
Alright, another one dead on the scoreboard. So I unpotted another Dimorph, flew back over again, noticed the necrotic nearby but didn't really think much of it, and I harvested the rock. Got my shit, flew back to base because this guy was just refusing to eat my alpha kibble. Got some tame helpers shoved down his throat, and finally, day 41, I had the Fire Wyvern.
Great, let's head the f out of here.
Day 41 was of course spent testing out Smog the Fire Wyvern. And damn, this guy was strong, okay? And it just felt awesome flying on a giant red dragon again. I also tamed another PT. Another one. I don't know why I needed all of these, but whatever. I also got a little too cocky right here.
Okay. I was in Nash.
But just wait for it.
Yeah, that thing nearly one-shot me. No! What? How? How?
What in almighty? What the fuck was that? There. How did that happen? Like, I just tamed that guy like 2 days ago. And then I lost it to an explosion. This was stupid. And damn it. And this giant moss drop did not make me feel better about myself. But when you think that stuff couldn't get worse, it just does. Yeah, stuff got so much worse.
Oh. Oh, great. Oh. Fabulous. Fabulous. Why did they all aggro? Why? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, that's too far. Back to scratch 0. I'm dead. Okay, okay. Okay. No, the Wandering Loot boss. Oh, great! Just before I got my stuff.
Man, this is some bullshit!
The last edge, bruv. So dumb. Oh, hell no. Look at that bag. No! Target acquired. Land! No! 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 No!
Eventually, I realized that I needed some grapples to get my stuff because of how inconvenient this bag placement was. This whole process was the most annoying and irritating thing ever. And on day 43, I got my stuff.
Motherfucker.
You guys also remember that one alpha PT I didn't tame because I didn't want to get wiped across the floor by a primal carno? Turns out it survived. I tamed it, along with a brand new alpha dimorph. Oh yeah, got a haircut that day. I also nearly lost another PT due to the Chaos debuff, which you happen to get every time you get too close to a Chaos creature. Now Chaos creatures, they are very, very strong, and I cannot wait till we get one. At nighttime, I knocked out my first elemental, a caustic parrot, one of the 4 elements there are. As like said, there are caustic, electric, fire, and ice griffin. Oh wow, that's good. I want to tame that one. So I placed down a couple of beds and my trap. I figured out something cool about the S+ dino gates. I then shot the griffin with my little pistol and lured it into the trap, which went surprisingly well. And then I knocked it out.
Blue crystal.
This guy was strong, okay? An ice breath attack dealing tons of damage and a swoop attack which does even more. Man, I really like this griffin. It was amazing. And it was satisfying killing these once extremely menacing creatures. I also, finally, went beyond level 100 on my character. Now day 45. There is no day 45. Nor a day 46.
So I just realized that the last couple of days I was recording, everything was going smoothly, and then suddenly, boom! Output delay. Output issue.
Output delay means that the video you recorded gets corrupted. Really a shame because yeah, I got a lot of stuff. And even fought a magical real heroically.
I also tamed a couple of parrots. A couple of elementals. Here, Here, see? Got another caustic. I tamed a fire parrot. Which is really quite a shame. Because I did so much. Just for it all to...
Day 47. And I made a little deal for myself. Considering there wasn't any footage of me killing a manticore, I decided that I owed it to myself and everyone watching that I defeat another one. Then, and only then, can I use the Fab Sniper Rifle. Luckily there was a manticore just waiting to be clapped.
There we go. Dive down. Combo him. One more. No. One more. There we go. That was a combo. He's going to fly. He's behind me. Oh, he's not flying.
Just that this battle was extremely underwhelming and did not capture the same kind of excitement I had during the first battle for the Fabby Sniper. I also took on a Dragon Boss, hoping that this fight would be more entertaining.
There we go.
No, don't do it.
Returning home, I added the Dragon Trophy to my haul of victories. And I got a chem bench crafted and placed down, which would help far better and greater than mortars and pistols. The cost of firing this Fab Sniper Rifle was also, a lot, okay? I harvested metal, rocks and stones. Got charcoal and crafted a lot of gunpowder. During the evening I went outside of my cave to kill a bunch of trilobites at my beach for oil. Day 48 starts off with a deathworm. An alpha deathworm on these tropical islands. This really doesn't seem right. Not at all. But I had to kill it for my trophy wall. Oh, the oil was used to craft meat jerky in the preserving bin, which we needed to craft the later tiers of kibble such as Apex. I also got an industrial grill for more cooking. Day 49, and it was parrot taming day. Got an ice parrot before traveling to the north, where I found a fire parrot, male. This was good as I had already gotten a female tamed in those days that I didn't record. Most unlucky thing happened though. A Black Boulder, Captain Black Boulder, was nearby to make my life a little bit harder. However, I also figured out that my Griffin was excellent for taming as I could simply freeze these parrots stuck to the ground. Nighttime. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer taming time.
That was not what I wanted.
Yeah, boy.
Day 50. Halfway there, guys. Hooray! Man, I must be the worst and the slowest progressing Primal Fear player this world has ever seen. Later, surprisingly, I found Mr. Mensch laying on the beach. An intruder in a world which wasn't his to conquer.
Well, well, well.
When I traveled home, I stopped at the beaver dams and found a big fish stuck in a little canal. So I tamed it, along with another ice parrot. Slowly I was stacking up the amount of these little parrot guys. And during this I just could not stop thinking of how awesome it would be to have an apex dino. Oh wait, I didn't tame the ice parrot. As a buffoon nameless had murder on his mind. Day 51 and I hatched more baby parrots. Males that I could kill for feathers, before letting them off. But then something interesting spawned in. So, you know, Primal Fear has creature variants, right? Which have lower spawn rates than normal ones, right? This guy probably had like a 0.001% chance of spawning, but it did. And I stood there, petrified. Keyboard. Tip, 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 tip. When you look at Primal Fear videos, no one, absolutely no one, has it worse than me right here. Day 53, and I only had elementals, the third tier of creatures. Later, once I calmed down a bit, I went out with Arnold. I haven't mentioned him in some time. Go on a wood run, and I harvested a bit of obsidian. I then used that obsidian to get a net gun and some net projectiles, and I flew around Rudolph. Now I got the net gun because I hoped that it could help tame more parrots.
No!
But it did not work. Still tamed that guy though. I swear, it was another one of those recording sessions where I just don't get anything done at all. As I died, once more to bullshit. After retrieving my stuff and Rudolph somehow survived that gigantic explosion, I tamed one more parrot. And at nighttime, I found the Mr. Big Blue Boss Boy.
Oh my. Oh my. My God.
Alright, I discovered something groundbreaking about dark creatures. You see, I killed this parrot and I got every type of feather. Yes, you heard that right. Every type of feather from a single dark parrot.
Electric feathers and caustic, and we don't need the electric parrot. We actually don't need it. Because if we just get like elemental advanced ones, if we just... No!
Day 56, and I knocked out my first Apex Dillo before traveling home, as I didn't yet have any kibble for it. Oh, and I finally get ammo for my Fabby Sniper. I then made blue narcotics, before upgrading it to... No, I didn't upgrade it yet, as I needed even more stuff to craft for narcotics. So I got my Moss Chops guy with me, and harvested a bunch of shrooms in the swamp. I also knocked out 2 more Apex Dillos near the swamp. And then, traveling home, happened something terrible.
It shouldn't have gone out like this. It should have gone out to fighting a boss. But it was a chaos spirit bee. So long. Blue crystals.
Day 57 and I was going insane. Gentlemen, I got 5 Apex kibble. I also crafted a lot more blue narcotics with the rare shrooms we harvested and converted them into Apex narcotics. While that was getting crafted up, I tamed each one of my Apex Dilophosaurs. I also just saw what kind of kibble I could get now, being fabled Omega, Elemental, Advanced and Special kibble, which was very nice. This meant I could basically get everything except for demonics and celestials. While on the subject of getting things, I got a Primal Industrial Forge, which got metal smelted even faster than a regular industrial forge. With this one, I would surely have metal for days. I then harvested the metal with big lava, which was inconvenient to say the least. Yeah, and this forge sure was insane. Just insane.
Excuse me?
I also learned that I could craft boss kibble. But before I could tame anything I wanted, I still needed more apexes for an increase in egg production. And day 58, I found an Apex Rex. And tested out my brand new Fabi sniper.
Woo! That is a sexy bit of torpor.
I liked what I saw. I likey very much. This was an excellent tool for taming more creatures. Just excellent. And the Apex Rex was tamed in no time. Toward the end of the day, I found another extremely high level Apex Rex and shot that one a couple of times as well. And it just feels so satisfying. With every shot I fire, an unexplainable amount of weight gets removed from my shoulders. Day 59 and I found a Dark Mega Raptor. Remembering that these give every feather type, I knocked it out quickly with the Fabi sniper. One issue though, I had no kibble. And when I went home to craft it, I noticed that I needed caustic feathers. So, I had some bursts of murder. And I got an imprinted Apex Rex as well. Day 60, and with my good Apex Rex, Mr. Crimson God, I took on a Megapithecus that was being a douchebag. If I hadn't known any better, I would have just used Apex Rexes to fight that Mr. Blue Boy. But Apexes don't even stand a slimmer of a chance fighting the bosses of Primal Fear. Oh yeah, you guys wondering what happened to the Mega Raptor? I think it died. Yeah, so, I found something else to tame. A level 230 Buffoon Ferox. A Ferox with cannons, missile launchers, and, cherry on top, it had the ability to throw nukes. So quite obviously, I began knocking it out.
Special kibble.
So I rushed back home and got the kibble, and nearing the end of 61, I tamed it. Now this is where the games get interesting. You see, this guy had cannonballs that did small damage, but then I discovered that it also had airstrikes. Missiles that did a whole lot more than simply a single explosion. Just look at me obliterating this group of Brachiosauruses. Now me thinking I'm some hot shit, I started taking on Apex and Darkness Rex. But I gave up, just seeing that the missiles couldn't be aimed up. And it felt very awkward shooting with it. Indominus also had a ridiculous regeneration, which made it nearly impossible to really do any consistent damage. But boy, oh boy, did I discover something insane that evening while going home.
No! I can throw dynamites! I have another ability! I can throw giant dynamites! 1 million damage! I should have just used this! 1 million damage! I can throw nuclear bombs! I can throw nuclear bombs! Oppenheimer! Woo! Oppenheimer! Oh no, Ramshackle loot boss aggro to me. No! No! No, no, no! Oh wait, I killed it. That was all it took! You're bad, bro, you're bad. Oh, you're bad. You're bad. Get shed on. Get shed on. Get shed on. Get shed on. You're bad. You're so bad. Oh my god, you're bad. So bad. Okay, screw it. I want to kill that spirit bee. He launched nukes into my face, and I do not appreciate that whatsoever. Oppenheimer! Yeah, how does it feel? Stupid bee.
And to quote Mr. Oppenheimer himself, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Day 63, and that felt good. I could finally relax a bit, knowing that I had the strength to take down spirit creatures. I also used some healing stew on my buffoon pharaohs to heal her up to maximum HP, before using everything I had to craft more bullets. More bullets for the fabricated rifle. And I started crafting a cargo boat full of narcotics. The day was basically spent like that, just doing work around the base and preparing. Day 64 I found a dodo wyvern, and I was confident I could defeat it.
Oh yeah, bitch! Oh.
Very embarrassing, to say the least. So I made sure to give it a good
Oppenheimer
before traveling back to my cave. That evening, I took on one of the most terrifying creatures we could fight yet. A primal rock drake. And it was epic. Launch some bombs, jump, and swim away. And then repeat that process over and over again. It was scary, and the rock drake sure got me nervous and scared from time to time. The battle lasted throughout the night, but then it actually got stuck. Somehow. So I managed to defeat my very first primal creature.
Primal defeated.
Day 65 I traveled back to the swamp to collect rare flowers with the giant moss chops, as I needed these to make the blue narcotics. Oh yeah, I also found a pretty low level Omega Rex, and figured, why not tame it? Or at least knock it out. With the rare flowers and rare shrooms I converted every narcotic into blue narcotics, and I got my very first Omega
Yes!
kibble.
We have enough. Woo!
Yippee!
On the way home that day I also found an amazing griffin variant. That celestial griffin. I wanted to tame that celestial griffin. Blessings and blessings, this game really wanted me to succeed, as I found both a male and female dark mega raptor practically next to each other the following day.
Oh, there's another one. Female. Female and male. Woo! We did it.
I knocked out one, then the other, and went back home to get the elemental kibble. Taming these will be beneficial for two things. One is increased elemental egg production, and the other is that I can get every feather type out of the same creatures now. Back at the base I also made a shit ton of blue bullets. Near the end of the day, I got even better apex armor from the blueprints I had collected. And now I was dripped the ever-loving f*** out. I was iced out, as iced out can be. Iced Rolexes, iced coffees. I was Mr. ILegend. I have to say, 66 was extremely successful. Well, it was nearly perfect, but the ending was one of tragedy. And no one likes it when the story of our perfect hero ends in a tragedy.
Excusez-moi.
I then died 2 more times trying to retrieve my stuff, and shared a moment of silence for Rudolph.
No.
On the mountain I found another elemental ice griffin, which I knocked out because, yeah, Rudolph was dead. Blue crystals was dead. And I desperately needed a flyer. A flyer, like what? Like a dragon? Oh yeah, I knocked out a dragon, which surprisingly was extremely easy, as it did not fly up to fight me. But damn, it was expensive, as I put more than 80 red bullets into this guy before she went to sleep. Guess what? When I tamed it, I literally nearly lost it instantly to a primal raptor.
Oh, passive! Passive fleet, passive fleet, passive fleet, passive fleet.
That was close.
Day 68 started off crafting 5 Omega kibbles, as I needed to tame a couple of those to have a good egg production. I also tested out my dragon a bit, and was extremely disappointed.
It's really not that strong.
I expected this guy to deal like 50,000 damage per ball, and the fire to do even more, but nuh-uh. However, its strength wasn't how much raw damage it could do, but the fire debuff over time, which easily tore apart a Titanosaur. I later found a pair of Indominus, and I wanted one of those tamed as well. And this is where the fire debuff really shined. It didn't even take 5 minutes before the pair of Indominuses with more than 1 million HP bit the dust and crumbled.
Well done, Draconis. That's your name. Draconis.
Later toward the end I found 2 more extremely high level Indominuses and took those down as well. Like, day 69? That's still funny? Anyway, I knocked out and got my second Omega Rex at the start of that day, before finding and knocking out another 150 Omega Rex.
Oh, now we have all of the Omegas.
The rest of the day was just spent farming a bunch of metal and doing some other confrontations.
We're rich! We're rich!
Day 70 I found a Primal Raptor, just challenging me right outside of my base. So I had little to no choice fighting him. And just like that rock drake, I just jumped between the cliffs, throwing and shooting rockets, until it eventually couldn't handle anymore. I also got an egg incubator, and started hatching my Apex Indominuses. Once more I also had to kill trilobites, and harvest their little shells for oil and silica pearls. Oh yeah, I also read that Apex babies needed Apex kibble to be raised up, making them extremely expensive to raise. And already with this low level male I realized that I stood no chance of raising it to adulthood, as it would starve. So I gave it a fitting name. I also started breeding my Dark Mega Raptors. Outside of my base I discovered quite a lot of fabled dinos nearby. And we need those for egg production as well, to get demonic and celestial kibble. So I knocked out an Anki, then an Argentavis, and then another Ankalo. And I annihilated the celestial aloe. I then crafted some fabled kibble, and got 2 of them tamed up. At nighttime, I crafted my last kibble and had to parkour jump over to the knocked out Argentavis to tame it. I also started getting eggs from my Ankylos and getting a bunch of Dark Mega Raptors. Some which would be used for breeding, others for their feathers. I mean, duh, that's why I named them Dead. The next day started off very weirdly, as my Mrs. Oppenheimer got stolen.
What? There you are! Ah! Jump! Please!
Anyways, there was another fabled Argentavis there, which was the main reason I got my Oppenheimer stolen in the first place. I then knocked it out and tamed it up, completing my set of fabled Argentavis. Day 73, and I got another Fire Griffin knocked out and tamed. Oh, I so destroyed my eardrums.
That was just so loud. Oh my god, that was loud. No, ain't no way, bro. Like, eventually you get to a point where that's just no longer fun, it's just stupid. Like, I know I have missiles, right? They're like big. Not that big. Look, they're only like...
How? Good heaven's name. Did Mrs. Oppenheimer just get blown apart by her own bomb? And by a darned Kentro? How did she die? Something so dumb. And setting up these gravestones did not get me over the tragedy. I also said a bit of final words.
Here lies Mrs. 4th of July. Oppenheimer! Oppenheimer till the very end. And now, Mrs. 4th of July. I know you're watching this guy. You can Oppenheimer as much as you want. Keep Oppenheimering. Keep Oppenheimering.
Day 74 and I found a near max level Buffoon Leo. And I wanted to fire more missiles again. It would work great as a replacement for Oppenheimer. And if not for the Leo, then for this Terrorbird. Yeah, I found a Buffoon Leo and a Buffoon Terrorbird basically next to each other. In the desert. I knocked out both. Got saddles and a kibble. And traveled back to tame them. Which was this thing. as the good Leo just floated midair.
Oh!
I then went on a murderous killer spree with SpaceX. Damn, this flying lizard whale was beyond my expectations. I then stumbled across an orbiting Carno near the volcano, and I had the same feeling of being an underdog as when I began this playthrough. I had to prove myself. I had to take down this origin. And so, I fired missiles upon missiles, scorching the ground in cursed flame. I got the origin stuck swimming in magma, like a little dum-dum. And I enjoyed this so much. These constant ticks were like music to my ears. Midnight. It was halfway dead. Morning of day 75 and it only had a sliver left of HP. And then, just a little later, I defeated my very first origin. And oh my lord, I got a new piece of flak armor, yellow and gold colored, with infinite durability. This armor wouldn't break or crumble no matter how hard I get punched in the face.
This is some sport thing, I don't know. This is insulate, I don't know.
I felt powerful, and later defeated another mini-boss, Captain Black Boulder. From killing that origin I also got origin blood, and I discovered some insane narcotics I could craft with it. Yeah, I could knock out anything now. Well, almost at least. As I didn't yet have the compound bow needed to fire such an arrow. The rest of the day I spent killing primal after primal creature, until I eventually found an artifactor. But these boys are nice because they carried artifacts, and I needed artifacts to craft origin summons. And we're going to kill a lot of these artifactos. A lot of these in this playthrough. I then found another origin, this time a Kairuku, and decided to kill it. It was worth it. Yeah, it did take a very long time, but it was worth it, as I got more of that gold colored armor. And if there's one thing I like above all else, it's to be covered in gold. Found another artifacto, killed it relatively fast, and found yet another one near the Wyvern Trench. And I saw a Celestial Giga.
Oh, and there's an origin!
Anyways, I killed the artifacto. And hey, even another origin. Yes, another one. Man, I was unstoppable with this Leo, named SpaceX. Oh yeah, about that Celestial Giga. I wanted to tame that Giga. But did I? Well, I can't remember. Better keep watching. Anyways, my one Indominus Rex was fully grown when I returned to base. Yeah, I forgot to explain to you guys, but I figured out a little trick to not bother with feeding it kibble. And that's just outrunning the Indominus and my base. Because then it would just grow up and not have to eat anything. Day 77, and I got my very first Celestial Kibble. Or make that my very first 3 Celestial Kibbles. I then got a Primal Compound Bow, Origin Narcotics, and converted those to arrows. And then I went out to tame the Celestial Griffin I was eyeballing all this time. Yeah, I lost that Ice Griffin. I didn't know that this Griffin had an AoE attack. Very unfortunate, but I couldn't bite the bullet yet. So, I died once, got my stuff, but then died soon after, before really getting my stuff back and sorted. And I fired the Origin Arrow.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Woo!
Origin Trank is working wonders.
Celestial Griffin tamed. My first Celestial tamed up, and I tested it out. Man, this was nice. It could fuse a fire breath attack like a dragon,
Damn.
and had a mini Celestial nuke that could obliterate anything. Day 78, and it was time for a taming spree. You see, yesterday I got a bunch of fabled kibble, as I need more fabled dinos to increase egg production. So I got a fabled PT, then a trike knocked out, before taming another PT. I also nuked the area and got rid of any dangerous things with Baby Blue. Yeah, that's how I named my griffin, Baby Blue. Anyways, I also knocked out another trike and then a pair of Stegosauruses. Meaning I now had 3 more pairs of dinos that could produce eggs. Then I found another fire griffin and tamed that one as well. During this day I also found 2 more primal carnos and took them down rather easily with the celestial nukes from my griffin. Day 79, and we are getting closer and closer to the end. Wow, now I felt invincible in Baby Blue. So what did I do? I got 3 Origin summons with me, and spawned them all simultaneously, feeling confident that I could easily rip them to shreds.
I'm in danger!
I couldn't believe it. A tiny little ice parrot killed me, and doomed my Celestial. But when I got close enough to whistle him away, it was all good. I then continued taking down these Origins, and discovered just how inconvenient it was to take them on with my Griffin. As the nuke's AoE was minimal, and 8 out of 10 times I missed and couldn't do damage. Eventually I realized that this really wasn't going anywhere and I had to abandon the battle. I then got SpaceX and killed the Origins with him. Now I realized something. I needed a demonic creature. And not just any demonic. I needed demonic thorny dragons. As these demonic thorny dragons can shoot hell shots. They can deal hundreds of thousands of damage in a second. I needed them. By day 80 the Origin Spinal was the only one left. And it nearly killed SpaceX with just a single bite.
Oh!
But nevertheless, it died as well. And man, I got a Primal Compound Bow. And it was capped! Anyways, I then got more arrows. Lots more. As I still wanted to tame the Celestial Giga. And now that I had a capped Compound Bow, I knew that I could do it. I then crafted Celestial Kibble, 4 more pieces, and went out to tame as many Celestial pairs as I could. Starting off with the Celestial Rex.
Are you prepared to die for your cause?
Whoa!
I was acting.
Yeah, that guy nearly killed us. Anyways, after that I found a Celestial Argentavis, and started shooting and knocking it out. Just for it to fall asleep in the ocean.
Oh my god. Do we have tame helpers? We do have tame helpers, okay.
Not that it mattered much though, as I got it tamed with no problems. Day 81, and I found more Celestial Argies, and I knocked out a female. Didn't have the kibble to feed it and tame it though, so I traveled home when a Primal Tech Quetzal spotted me and fought me.
Oh my god, the metal gash!
How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so sick of this fucking company.
What? In heavens almighty.
1% of my HP. That's how little my Celestial Griffin had. 1% left. After that, I had to take a massive breather and heal my Celestial. But then, on my own mountain, I found something sexy.
Celestial Ferox! Oh, you are speaking my language! Oh, I love big explosions.
This blue Ferox was Oppenheimer incarnated. If you thought the buffoon Ferox was a crack, and you have seen nothing yet, this blue Ferox was beautiful, and I just had to tame it.
Okay. Now you die.
It sees me!
On the following day I got Celestial Kibble and tamed the blue Ferox.
Meow! Oppenheimer! Oppenheimer the Blue.
I also retrieved the Argentavis, but that's not as important. As evening rolled along I started crafting some primal toxic narcotics, as I wanted to combine these with arrows to finally knock out the Celestial Giga. But day 83 started off with doing something totally different, as me and my Apex Dinos took on an Origin Argentavis. This really felt like a waste of time. Come on, Legend. Now you're going to tame that Celestial Giga, right? Nope. I went on a metal run with my Fable Hanky. I then got even more Primal Toxic arrows. And on day 84, I went out to tame the Celestial Giga. But then, a slap across my face, as the Celestial Giga had evaporated into thin air. Well, there goes that. Tons of preparations just for nothing. Luckily the arrows wouldn't go to waste, as I set my sights on taming the demonic thorny dragons again. Taming that first one was relatively smooth. And now day 85, I found another demonic and wanted to knock it out. But I guess it knocked me out instead.
Now, I'm really mad!
Before getting my stuff, I had to heal Baby Blue up again, as the burning debuff really did a number on him. But this Thorny really wanted to give me the middle finger, as it killed me again. And it got my Baby Blue near death as well. Again! So I just decided to use one of my origin arrows on it instead, as I couldn't be bothered getting killed over and over and over again, risking Baby Blue's life. Now that I had 2 demonic Thornies knocked out, I traveled back home to kibble. Got a saddle, and had it gobble on a max experience points potion. And now Lucifer, as I named her, was strong beyond strength. After getting more kibble, I traveled out of my cave again to travel over to Thorny Dragon number 2, and got it tamed. But then, something ridiculous happened.
Oh? Oh, he does shoot!
Emotional damage!
Baby Blue died, because I couldn't keep my fingers off the left mouse button. The gravestone number 3 was built, and a moment of silence was held for Baby Blue. And this fabled Ardent Tavis couldn't even give me a moment to mourn.
Oh.
Man, this shit sucked. I did however make most of the day by testing out my Lucifer. And man, she was strong. Obliterating primal dinos like if they were nothing. Dealing hundreds of thousands of damage in a second. Now I felt confident enough to take down anything that would stand in my way. And the following day I took on the strongest origin yet. An origin wyvern.
Let's go. Let's go. 5,000, we have 6,000. Oh, a new sniper.
After that I found a celestial wyvern right on the side of the mountain, and I wanted to tame it. I still had a sour taste in my mouth from losing my beloved Baby Blue, and I needed something that could travel faster than SpaceX. But it wasn't before day 88 that I shot the celestial wyvern, throwing it over before launching an origin arrow straight in its body. I was also dangerously close to dying, as you can see, and I had to fire 3 arrows because 2 just didn't register. But in the end, I got it knocked out. A very dangerous situation, we did it. Remember, I had enough celestial kill from my attempted Giga Tame. Taming the wyvern was no stress. Blue smoke celestial nukes were rather mediocre, the fire breath wasn't the best, but at least I could travel pretty fast now. With the artifacts collected, I crafted a couple more origin summons, as I needed to kill at least each origin twice by the end of this 100 days to summon both the demonic Empress and celestial Indominus. Day 89, and I traveled back to the snow to fight more origin Kairukus, but also another artifact on the beach. And my gee, what an improvement it was to have Lucifer to take these origins instead of using SpaceX. Just shredding them apart. Later that evening I saw fabled Magmasaur, and impulsively knocked it out because I thought it would be cool to tame. I also took on some Allosaurs, or so I thought. They were only Allos.
What? The game is broken! I'm losing every single game! Again! Again! 20 shots on target, 0 goals! Every match! Every match! I hit the post 20 times! I have enough! I have enough!
At base I couldn't even take a moment to mourn for my dead celestial wyvern, as I discovered another issue. My crop plots were out of fertilizer. So before traveling back to get my stuff, I had to take a shit. Day 90, just 10 left, and I was flying around naked, no armor, getting my stuff back from yet another dead creature. And yes, I tried to knock out the demonic shine on the origin arrow. Little did I know that this was untamable. Why? Well, it didn't have a food bar. So there goes an origin arrow, just wasted like that. On the way home I found a fabled Mega Shellon. Now these guys have an insane ability, as they passively produce the materials needed to craft the better narcotics. Being tinto and narcoberry seeds, and both rare flowers and mushrooms. So I knocked it out to let you tame it up. Back at base, I got even more origin summons and the fabled kibble. And later went out with my Ankalo to harvest berries. Day 91, and more bullshit happened. This fat Mega Shellon had perhaps the slowest food train in the whole game. So it was going to take a lot of time for this guy to be tamed up. Even this 100x team helper didn't do anything. Later I jumped over and across nearly the whole ocean, which felt very epic, to tame up the other thorny dragon. I also saw a celestial golem up on the mountain I tamed the thorny dragon on, and decided to tame that one up as well. If I couldn't get my hands on the celestial giga, then I'll just tame the golem. Oh my god! 5 celestial kibble for this one team? Now that just hurts. I decided that night to upgrade my farm a little bit by getting greenhouse structures and constructing a little greenhouse. Now hopefully the crop production wouldn't stab me in the back like it used to. So, I needed 5 kibble for the golem, and I only had 4. I needed to wait for my crops to grow. But what did I do? I went on a little killing spree in the swamp, but little did I know that I would find a very dangerous enemy here.
What? Demonic Cap, bro?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
This Capro did a number on me and Lucifer. But I had to act fast. I couldn't lose yet another tame to this game. I couldn't. So I crafted the soulbow gun. No idea why I didn't get that any sooner, but yeah. I went to the swamp and tried to save Lucifer.
There we go, we saved Lucifer.
This method of saving a dino sure feels scuffed, but I was fed up with this game, couldn't care less. I then got the last piece of kibble and more tame helpers and tried to get the Mega Shellon tamed, but without luck. Even a 200x tame helper didn't do anything to lower the food stat, making me extremely frustrated. I then got my Celestial Golem, and called it the Blue Rock. The Rock in Blue. Day 93 and I got a welcome surprise back home. A Griffincorn, just begging to be tamed. And I needed to have my wings back. Sure would be nice to fly instead of risking jumping into one or the other dangerous creature on Blue Oppenheimer. And my god, this one was fast! Even faster than Baby Blue. Oh, this day I decided to take Lucifer into a very dangerous battle, as I got all my origin summons with me. Got to a centered rock between tons of cliffs, the boss fighting rock, and took on every origin at once. First I dealt with the Argentavis, and then the Fire Wyvern, as those were the only ones who could really do the most amounts of damage.
And now this is where the real fun starts.
Before moving on to the group of land origins, which all fell relatively fast, one after the other, just burned, scorched, and blazed out of existence.
Anyways,
the loot was nice, the origin tokens were nicer, and hey, I finally got a Primal Fear shotgun. Day 94 was when I noticed that I still had a lot of leftover kibble, just getting spoiled in my primal smithy. So I decided to put them to use instead. I got an Ice Griffin tamed, and harvested some crystal on the mountain to make a bunch more soul balls, before eventually finding a dragon. I shot arrows and bullets into it till it eventually got knocked out on the volcano, where there was a wandering loot boss, or how I call them, wandering LBs. And I wanted to get some pretty loot from its body. See, it's ramshackled here by default, but by damaging it and getting it to a sliver of HP, it enters a stage called Berserk, where it evolves into the next tier.
Oh, it's an apprentice now.
And now I just had to farm this over and over again, till it was ascended. But that sure was easier said than done.
Oh!
And another one bites the dust. And another one. And another one. I hope I don't get copyright claimed.
No! No, man! No, man!
This was bad. Alright, real bad. No more flyers now. And my stuff next to a constantly evolving loot boss.
fighting like everything. Okay.
Come on over here.
The fact a little unicorn died makes me so. Ah! Oh.
I smell pennies.
Couldn't have possibly aggroed to me. How?
This loot boss and a primal tech stagger were constantly duking it out. That's why I'd eventually reach Mastercraft here. Once I finally got my stuff, I ended the battle swiftly with Lucifer. But the loot was really bad. Nothing of any value, nothing that I could use. So I got my unicorn griffin killed for nothing. Luckily I had my ice griffin, so I could at least travel away and back home to continue my original plan. To tame stuff, like this green toxic turtle. I would then start off by knocking out an ice Archaeopteryx, but I was dangerously close to some apex Allosaurus. So I took those on as well.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
Okay, so there was a Celestial Allo as well. Well, there goes another Griffin. And I was so done with this shit. Why do I even bother taming things I don't need? Day 96 will be a very meaningful day. As you can see, I'm preparing well to fight the bosses of Primal Fear by leveling up my Celestial Golem to maximum and doing the same with my Indominus Rexes. Yes, I wasn't going to fight this battle alone. I would take some warriors with me to fight the Celestial Indominant Demonic Reaper. Yes, I plan to fight both at the same time. I later checked back on my Mega Shellon, and again, it was not eating anything whatsoever. Even after another 200x, nothing happened. While there, I also saw an Orbitan Wyvern at the Wyvern Trench, and I obviously took it on. Just one issue, it was flying. I was not, and aiming with this Thorny Dragon was not the easiest task in the world. Shotgun was also awful at actually registering anything.
Nope.
Bruv. Finally, oh my god.
There was also another Origin Raptor on the same mountain, which I melted and destroyed in a matter of seconds. At the evening, I prepared better toward the final boss battle by placing down foundations and harvesting the trees blocking the cliff that I would fight the bosses on. I also uncrowded the rock in blue and put them on turret mode so it would rain down celestial nukes on the Emperor and Empress. I also put down some Apex Indominus to act as cannon fodder, and so they could distract the bosses even more. Finished off the day by crafting my Origin Summons and Origin Narcotic. Apparently I had also crafted the Emperor and Empress Summons some days prior, as they were just laying around in my smithy. But I got those as well. And on day 98 I went back to the cliff. Fight the final battle.
Here we go. Into Shires, the one who knocks.
Oh, they did not last at all! I'm dying. Whoa, I got heated up, I got thrown off. No, rock and blue! Just keep firing! Number one! Oh! Oh my god! Oh, we did it! Oh my god! We did it! Whew. Ascended Demonic Gauntlets. Stops you from getting all burned.
We won! I mean, obviously. I mean, I wasn't stressing at all. You were. The loot was fabulous, alright. Got a sword that gave me some insane stats, and when used, it could summon a celestial allosaur minion. Oh yeah, I also celebrated that day by summoning the Empress up again to tame her. Shot the origin arrow into her, but then I nearly lost my demonic thorny.
No!
That was way too close, but luckily the Empress got knocked out. However, rather weirdly, as it was knocked out underground. Eventually I realized that I had to jump off my SpaceX to access the inventory and tame her up.
There you are.
The following day I had a lot of fun with her, destroying absolutely everything with the fireballs. But once I discovered that she had an X special attack, which were burning spikes straight from the deepest corners of hell, I managed to completely destroy a primal aloe. And oh, these spikes were fun. Just look at me melting this origin Argentavis.
Oh, look at that melt!
After having my way, I crowd her up and summoned the other boss, the Celestial Emperor, to tame him up as well. I tamed him, and I discovered what attacks it had, being massive celestial shit. I then tried to take on a Primal Carno, and it went badly. Like unbelievably bad. This Emperor was quite a disappointment to say the least. And eventually I had to run because I couldn't deal any kinds of damage to this Carno. Luckily Satan, my Empress, made quick work of Carno. And there we have it! 100 days of Primal Fear completed.
Now usually, at the end of 100 days, we just have to, yeah, like said, end it. But, you see, we can't simply just finish the video here. We still have to defeat Pikkon's revenge. And so, let us continue this challenge of beating Primal Fear on day 101.
I have returned for my pride.
So you'd think I'd get straight back to work killing origins and some feathered boys, right? Well, you are wrong. I crafted some pillars and ceilings and made a little platform underneath my base. I then bred my dark mega raptors there, like some sort of chicken farm. I would kill the babies once grown to get the feather types.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me.
Day 102, and I got crystal atop my mountain and crafted something delicious.
Oh, we have to... Oh, yeah. Whew. Whew.
After placing my tech replicator, I went on a massive metal runner mountain again. Anyways, after getting richer than those Saudi Arabs controlling oil, I stuffed the metal inside of my forge and got the tech generator. The tech generator is extremely useful as it will power a very large area in my base, much more than a normal generator could.
Okay, let's take all of these summoners and let's just defeat them all. Let's just absolutely destroy them.
Day 103, and I fought origins with Satan, my demonic empress. I shredded straight through them, no problemos. But little did I know at this time just how many times I would fight origins in these 200 days. Yeah, I would fight so many origins coming up.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another.
Day 108. And as you saw, that was legit all I was doing. Just killing origin after origin after origin. I also became just the biggest genius alive for a little moment here.
You know what? You know what? I don't know if this works. Yes! Its food is decreasing!
Alright, I tamed a light griffin some days prior at my swamp. It was level 300, so I didn't want to pass it off. And I had no other flyers. Yet again, no way of flying around the map. Anyways, I had crafted the Spirit Guardian summon, but I still needed to kill the Emperor and Empress once more for their boss drops to get the other Chaos Summoner. Alright, I crafted tech armor pieces as well.
I mean, not like that's a big surprise though. And after getting more primal skills, I summoned up another Empress. Killed her. Summoned her again. Knocked her out. Tamed her. And it's day 110. You wanna know what's becoming apparent? Just how many kinds of creatures I must kill. Because it's not just origins I have to farm up, but I need demonic souls, celestial souls, and primal souls, as well as blood types from these. Anyways, I got the Chaos Guardian summon. But I was kinda scared to fight them though, as the Guardians are literal giant wyverns that travel at max speed to obliterate anything they see. Luckily, I watched Granty, a total Sigma male of an ARK YouTuber. And in his Primal Fear video, he showed us all how to cheese the Guardians. You just need a cave entrance where the Guardians stay aggressive to you, but don't shoot their giant chaos or spirit orbs at you to kill you. And there's just one spot that comes to mind that will work excellent for this. This little volcano right here. I would summon the Guardian, travel down into the cave, and it ran away. Oh, never mind. There he is.
There he is! Oh my god, oh my god! Oh, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
Anyways, after successfully getting him stuck and aggro to me, it was just a matter of time before he would bite the dust.
Oh yeah, baby! Oh yeah!
And then I had to do all that again with the Chaos Guardian. But damn it, taking down that Spirit Guardian took forever. Longer than a day. So instead, I unpotted one of my other Thorny Dragons and leveled that guy up to deal even more damage than Lucifer. Around 20,000 more damage per tick. Which does just sound nice, doesn't it? Now surely the Chaos Guardian couldn't be any more stressful than the Spirit one, right?
Where? Drop it! No, please, oh my...
At midnight, it too got obliterated.
Oh, we've done it.
Day 112, and defeating those Guardians has allowed me to progress even further than before. You see, defeating each one of these allows me to learn the Chaos and Spirit Orbs, which are the taming foods necessary to tame the Chaos and Spirit creatures of this mold. Anyways, I found and knocked out a Chaos Griffin, and then fed its head orb. But just a little later, I saw the greatest, the most dangerous and catastrophic wyvern yet. A 380 Spirit Wyvern. This guy was insanely high level, higher than my maximum level of 300. So returning home I got more Origin arrows, the Spirit Orb, and I killed 2 Origins with my brand new Griffin. A tiny little problem I discovered with using the Griffin was that when I shot my orbs, they would leave behind a lingering pool on the ground, which was very small. And creatures like this bear could just easily kind of walk out of it. Luckily, as I would discover later, the Spirit Wyvern made more than up for the Griffin's slacking pay.
We did it! Our boy is like ultrasonic speed! He's gaining! Knocked out. And if you're knocked out, we'll knock out a very special guy as well. Not good, not good. No! No! Oh, that's just... It actually does nothing. It genuinely does nothing.
Hey, luckily I still had primal arrows from when I wanted to tame the Celestial Giga, and I could luckily use those to knock out the skeletonized Rex.
These work. Yeah, those work, okay.
Now why was I so focused on getting this Rex? Well, that's why. Giant explosions that could deal massive damage. I was sure that it would be excellent in taking out the later bosses of this game.
No, did I just... Oh, 100 per... Oh.
The bone meal, it needs to be tamed, is very expensive though. Like, so expensive that it requires me to kill the blue boy and empress again, just to feed and tame it. So I got to it, obliterating these puny life forms with my brand new spirit wyvern.
That's a lot of damage. No, that's a lot of damage.
And there we go. Celestial Kibble, oh my god, Celestial Kibble, let's cross 5, please. Mijos.
Day 116, I got the skeletonized rack saddle and a bunch of tech transmitters. A little bit off course, you might say, since we are so laser focused on getting the wreck stained up. But I need these transmitters for the future. You see, you can scan the map for dinos, showing you where they are, what level they are, and more. But for getting the scan to actually do all of those things, I needed multiple transmitters. So I eventually got 4 of them. But that's good, since I can now see everything. Every single dinosaur on the map. Now, whenever there's demonics, celestials, primals, or origins, I could track them down and kill them much easier than before. I also got an apparent artifactor summon, and murked that guy with my spirit wyvern rather fast. I then used those to craft origin summons and then killed those origins to make the Emperor and Empress summon. I killed those with their boss drops. See?
Coronavirus!
Slowly you see how repetitive this kind of endgame is getting, right? A giant Chaos Wyvern then spawned legit right outside of my base, which I obviously knocked out to tame.
We hit it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We hit it. We did it. We did it. Mizuki 3. Yes. Yes.
And it was strong. However, I did poorly against this Origin Wyvern, having the same issue as my Chaos Griffin. Being that the pool of death wasn't good or strong enough. I mean, Ghost, my spirit wyvern, made quick work of the origin wyvern though, dabbing on him 2018 style. Day 121, and I finally got the skeleton rex. My god, this guy was strong. Orbs with area of effect damage, fire breath with a lingering effect on the ground, and a lightning zap that could obliterate anything. And this was only the base damage. After pumping some levels into this guy, he became even stronger. And just look at this little origin raptor.
Oh.
Straight shredded. And what about dire bears and spinosaurs?
Let's go! Look at that damage! Sheesh!
A great success!
Feeling uber confident, I crafted Pikkon summon and fought him. Now Pikkon the creator is a tier 5 boss, and I felt that with my skeleton rex I had the strength to take him on.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't die on me! Don't die on me! No!
Skelly Boy didn't survive the fight. Yeah, that's unlucky. Rest in peace, Skelly Boy. I then died a few more times. And only then did I realize that this wasn't going to be as easy as I hoped it would be. This is a boss after all, a tier 5 boss. But yeah, like I said, I was kind of overconfident. And so eventually, I had to take the battle up in the skies.
Oh! Oh! Come on, healing potion, come on! Oh, shoot. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Oh no, I'm stuck inside of it. Please ground me or something. Please, Pikkon, this is unfair. Yes, oh yes, oh yes. Fly, oh shit. Fly. Avoid the missiles. No. Oh no. No. Oh no.
The battle lasted what felt like forever.
Yes.
But I was rewarded handsomely with a brand new set of unbreakable, modded Primal Fear tech. After that, it was right back to the grocery store, shopping for blood from various creatures such as this big monkey, going on slaughter in the swamp the following day. I used the blood from all these creatures killed to craft new origin summons, and fought those later. There's a lot of origin fighting in this game Primal Fear, as you need all origin tokens to even summon a single boss, and most bosses use crafting materials from previous bosses to be summoned. So let's say you wanted to craft the Nova summon, the other tier 5 boss. Well then, you would need the Empress token, the Blue Boy token, and every origin token, a set of origins. But the Empress and Blue Boy obviously also need every origin token to be summoned in the first place. So one single Nova requires you to kill 3 of each origin at least once. This is endgame Primal Fear, grinding so that you can eventually find a new boss. I also started using the transmitter to track set origins, chasing them down and killing them. And I started killing every demonic, celestial and primal in sight as well for their souls. Something I also stumbled across was a wild demonic Reaper Empress, which was nice considering that I didn't have to farm up the origins for this one. Fighting it, however, proved to be more difficult than expected.
Why all the way over? Oh, that's not my thing. I need to actually consume that potion. Yeah. Okay.
So day 126, I just flew back home with 2 less wyverns. Losing my dragons was pretty tragic, as it meant I would yet again have to go out and tame some new chaos or spirit dinos. And at night time, I did just that. I found and knocked out a spirit griffin.
Oh!
After getting back to my stuff, I tamed it up on day 127, and I tried it out. In my swamp I also found a spirit bee and tamed that guy as well. Bumblebee, or also Bumblebee as I called it, was quite strong and had a very focused spirit blast, and I used the bee to quickly take down 2 origin wyverns. This bee was maybe just as strong as my spirit wyvern, or maybe even stronger, and it was good I tamed it. Later that same night I crafted the Blue Boy summon, and fought him as well. And I melted through him like butter in a frying pan, and after that I returned to the Empress. Cracked her open like an egg. And I only needed to fight the Origin Spino to get the Nova boss summon. So I got to killing the yellow cousin of Rudy, and on day 129 I got the Nova summon. I apparently got a Fable Stego saddle as well, and harvested berries with it to craft up a couple of healing potions. As you see, healing potions each have different strengths and different use times, but also different cooldowns. And luckily, for all of us, they can stack, so having as many different ones as possible is never a bad thing. Okay, let us fight Nova. Yeah, this fight really wasn't all that cool, dramatic, or even epic, because I legitimately just cheated with my Spirit Beam. Just flew above it, shot orbs down, guy tried to fire his orbs at me, they missed, and eventually it just died, folded over. And it dropped some cool loot. But more importantly, the egg Nova dropped. This egg right here, which can hatch my very own Nova the Destroyer boss. A very powerful tame which would for sure help me further down the line. A Barracuda also wanted to congratulate me on my win, giving me a little kissy kiss. Whilst the Nova egg was hatching in my egg incubator, I just patiently waited beside it, all the way till it could be hatched.
Jesus, you're big.
That's what she said. Once my baby Nova got the imprint, I had to calm it down a bit. Legit had wandering on for no good reason. But this baby, even though it was a feisty one, was one powerful beast. 26 million HP and some very powerful attacks. Now, all I had to do was just wait for it to grow up. And I realized something. I had just defeated both tier 5 bosses of Primal Fear. And this meant that I could fight one of the 4 Colossus Titans. As each Colossus requires the tokens from Pikkon the Creator and Nova the Destroyer to be summoned. And I had to fight every different Colossus to fight Pikkon's Revenge, which is the final boss of Primal Fear. So essentially, this meant that I had to fight both Nova and the Creator 4 more times. Great! For now though, how about we test out our new Nova? Okay, this guy was insane. Nukes, explosions, purple haze, and purple death. This would be my Joker. The card up my sleeve to defeat the upcoming Colossus. And I just had to test it out on an artifact to ascend it. I needed more artifacts to summon more origins, and this artifacto, which I could hopefully squeeze and obliterate with Nova, would drop a ton of artifacts. And yes, Nova was doing a ton of damage to this guy, so much so that it started levitating up this wall. Yeah, Nova's greatest strength is its biggest weakness, as Nova has a ridiculous knockback with its attacks. And ultimately, this artifacto got knocked down under the sea.
Under the water.
At the end of the day, of course I killed it. My tech suit had infinite oxygen and the concept of breathing was unknown to Nova. Just that. Yeah, the battle took very long because of how much knockback this oversized Megatherium took. Day 132. I crafted more Chaos and Spirit Orbs, and I crafted the first Colossus summon. But not before a certain realization struck me.
Wait, so we need to fight every Colossus, right? And each Colossus requires 1 Creator and 1 Destroyer soul. And one of these require a set of origins, but actually 3 sets of origins, because you need to also craft the Celestial, Emperor, and the Demonic Empress, and then you need to do that twice. So that means 6 sets of origins. Yeah, 6 sets of origins for 2 of these. No, for 1 of these. And then we need to do that again and... Wait, how many origins is that? Let me whip out the calculator. Wait, does this one also need 1? Jesus, that one also needs 1. That's 5 in total. 5 souls in total. So then 3 times 5 is 15. 15 sets of origins to fight everything. 15 sets of origins.
Yeah, 15 sets of origins per tier 5 boss. So 30 sets in total. This was going to be dreadful. But before we could even worry or think about all of that, I traveled over to the boss fighting rock and initiated battle against the caustic Colossus. I launched waves of purple bombs at it and burned, scorched this guy in purple hellfire. And this guy, as one of the Colossus, summoned tons of caustic minions to aid it in battle. It also poisoned me and tried to laser my ass, while perhaps the worst enemy of all were my frame rates going crazy and giving my PC a fight for its money. Or however that English saying goes. These damage numbers were the real danger, and it eventually got so bad that it was best to just remove the whole HUD interface completely. The battle lasted long, slowly chiseling down its tremendous 4 billion HP. But eventually, and without dying once, we defeated the first Colossus out of 4.
Yes! The Colossus fell! Oh, I accidentally just pressed tab. Oh my god. And there we go.
After a quick celebratory cheer, it was back to grinding. Everything I did these last 30 days had to be repeated threefold. Origins, Empresses and Emperors, Novas and Creators. It all had to die. This was going to be tedious. Day 133. I had not learned my lesson and fought a Wyvern Origin, which expectedly heated itself halfway across the map.
Where did... Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yeah, that was unexpectedly scary. Almost lost my Nova there. But what I figured out was this. My beloved purple-feathered Dodo Reaper was not all too reliable against Origins. So next few times I'd use my Empress instead. These next few days are just a blur of the same repeated mindless killing. It's not just the Origins, but the women and the children too. The Monarchs, Celestials, it did not matter. Anything I saw and laid my eyes on was killed. I had to spawn in one of the many Empresses the following day. Day 135 I also learned that ascended versions of the Empress and Emperor exist, which are essentially ultra strong versions of these. Yeah, I wanted to kill them as they could handsomely reward me with a bunch more of those tasty souls. A rather annoying thing about grinding for Origin summons was the blood from every tier of creature, which you needed to craft the summons. Luckily, my Einstein smartass came up with a solution to save a bunch of time grinding that out. And that being a giant wooden cliff platform atop the building inside of my cave. This way, I could have creatures breeding up here without any issues, and have their eggs hatch and grow up, and later kill those when they're grown up, and harvested the little babies for either blood or feathers. It sounds cruel, I mean it is a slaughterhouse concept, but it was a bulletproof plan, and it would save me a lot of time grinding. I had also found another wild blue boy on day 136, which was a nice little fight. I also found two very high level Chaos Wyverns at the trench, and I wanted to take both of them. These guys were very strong, and after losing my own Chaos Wyvern, flying just wasn't the same. So quite obviously, I tried to knock them out.
Yeah, we can't spawn at few K, so... Oh, I'm glitched!
Yep. Ultra wide FOV from dying. Or also, my eyes just stretched immensely, giving me the same kind of vision that geckos have.
Oh my gosh! Yeah! My aim! My aim!
And there we go. I had two brand new Chaos Wyverns knocked out. And got them tamed day 137. Shadow Reborn and Nocturne were now brand new members of the ILegend army. More Origin fighting was done later that day, and when day 137 became day 138, I fought yet another Empress. That day, day 138, I was just flying minding my business when I stumbled upon an old blue friend of mine.
No!
And I wanted to tame it, as it reminded me of a good tame I used to have in the 100 days. And later, I attained Baby Blue's reincarnation. Once it became night, I slaughtered more of the feathered fellows. And now I was certain that I had collected more than enough feathers for the remainder of these 200 days. As you can also see, I was also raising Indominus for the massacre and the bloodshed as well. And, you know, I made a little extra special cage for Baby Blue's rebirth, treating this animal more like a trophy than anything else. Day 139 and I went out demonic hunting again, as I needed an atrocious amount of demonic hide to summon the Ascended Empress. Killed more Origins as well. Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. Killed Indominus Emperor as well. You know, it's just the usual. But then I realized something. Maybe I don't need to grind and kill demonics for it. Here's the thing. I have been collecting the Empress and Emperor saddles as well as the demonic and celestial armor pieces from the previous ones that I had killed. And theoretically, I could just grind these down for resources in my brand new industrial grinder, right? It worked. And not only did I get an insane amount of hide, but also metal for days! Day 140 and I needed Omega Blood, so that was the next creature that will be mass bred for slaughter. Day 143. A little jump in time there. I know. I fought another artifact to Ascended, this time with my spirit, and had it slain without issue. Little bit of a fourth wall break here though. But there are so many days where it's just me mindlessly slaving away trying to collect all my origin tokens, collecting blood and feathers, demonic and celestial souls, and it's just such repetitive footage, and I'll be honest, it might even be boring for you guys, so I'll just skip through whatever I think that's boring and just get to the interesting parts. And something that is interesting was a massive fight soon. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just had to summon the origins and launch spirit orbs at them, slowly melting through all of them below me. The bloodshed this bee is experiencing is nearly too much for this guy, and I had to be careful not to give it PTSD. Later I also whipped out my Empress and took on more wyverns into Argentavis origins. And day 144, I craft the Ascended Empress Summon. An investment to be sure of, and hopefully a good investment at it.
I love y'all. I'm gonna go up on the look.
This guy did spook me though, I'll give it that. It surprised me because it's actually buried in the ground and nearly sniped me when it went out. But eventually, death.
Wait, what? Satan, you can be upgraded.
Yes, Satan could be upgraded. And so it became much more powerful with just a single Dissension item. And now, it was a fallen demonic Reaper Empress.
Yo!
This was really exciting. Not only because it now looked 1,000 times better, cooler, but because it could be leveled up again. Meaning that I could make this Fury of Satan a very powerful tame. And now, while I was killing Origins and the others all over the map, I started reminiscing and thinking, what could possibly be stronger than my Spirit Bee and Chaos Wyvern? Well, a Spirit or Chaos Manticore, obviously. And, I mean, in the last 100 days, I stumbled upon one of these, as you guys know. And it shocked me how loud its explosions were. And me thinking like a little monkey, I correlated strength with loud sounds and explosions. So day 147, I got Alpha Boss Kibble and found my first Alpha Boss. A big red monkey, and began knocking it out.
What? I have God Tech. How?
After getting my stuff back, it had lost all its torpor. And I really couldn't bother wasting more time on this guy, so I just used an origin arrow on it. It was quite nice that this monkey was a female as well, as it could lay eggs in my soul terminal. Yes, you heard me right there. Mammals lay eggs in this mod. I don't know how that works, but at this point, I just go with the flow.
Monkey.
Later on day 148, I had a fun little realization. Tech teleporters exist, which could make this long origin grind a little bit easier as well. By automating teleportation, by traveling from one place to the other side of the map, this would be genius, right? I wanted to place a teleporter on Orgon's volcano, as it was at the opposite side from the map as to where my base was. I also died once more to some celestial allosaurs with their gigantic explosion attacks, screwing over my FOP once more. Getting my stuff back was not easy, and even Origin Argentavis aggroed onto me and nearly got me killed. But eventually, I obviously got my stuff.
How many Celestials? 1, 2, and a third one over there. Why?
After that I finally set up the teleporter, and honestly, I really didn't care too much about how it looked anymore. Even though I consider myself to be quite the artsy man, I just made this teleporter with the aim of it being convenient.
Yeah, but...
Convenient it was. Real convenient.
Okay, well, I guess you guys are just part of this now.
Day 149 I also collected more berries, rare flowers and mushrooms in the swamp with my moss chops. As rare flowers, shrooms and mejo berries I used to craft healing potions, and I wanted more than I already had. But my moss chops was stolen from me.
No! Oh, man.
Rest in peace, Elder Moss Chops. You will be missed. But luckily, we did collect a bunch of them, right? So I crafted a bunch more health pots. The following day, day 150, I found another alpha boss, an enormous red alpha spider. Knocked her out with an origin arrow before offering it slavery, to which the spider gladly accepted. Just for reference, this was the reason I wanted the spirit boss tamed. This dragon was wild, with giant explosions.
Holy smokes.
And I knew for certain that it was a strong creature. I mean, not that I could tame it anytime soon though. But still, look at this guy. While I was out killing more Origins, I realized that I could fight the Overseer. Which is pretty funny. I had collected Gamma Boss heads from killing some Brute Mothers, Megapithecus and Dragons. And it seemed like the perfect thing to do to get some more levels. And to of course ascend. I also wanted to see just how easy this cave would be with my demonic thorny dragon Lucifer.
That's a Celestial! Wow!
I had to take in mind that this map wasn't fully developed though, so I put my most valuable stuff, my potions, tech suits and weapons in a storage box and teleported over to the fight with just the essentials.
Hey, it may have been good that I took the... Goodness. Ah!
And it surprised me because this cave could also spawn creature variants, and not just the vanilla creatures usually found here. But hey, luckily this meant it was really smart that I took Lucifer, who could easily deal with most of the dangers in this cave. However, at the split bridge part, I ran into a little bit of a problem.
The blood, let's see if we surviving. Oh, I'm stun locked. This is unfair. No! Oh my god!
Yeah, that primal card nearly knocked me into the lava, and there is no way to get out of there. So that would have been certain death for me. Anyways, I then teleported to the space station the Overseer was located, and I fought the final boss of ARK.
Wait, I can one-tap this guy. Wait, I can one-tap him. This will be the easiest ascension ever. Instant transform. He transforms again. I'm literally just bullying him. Monkey. Overseer has been defeated.
Well, hey, there's the final boss of the game defeated.
Yo, Lucifer! We're ascending, man! We're ascending! Let's go! Extra levels! Man, the ascension feels really weird without music. Like, really weird. Hey, let's go.
Unfortunately, when I teleported back to the volcano...
Where's my little Lucifer?
Lucifer was nowhere to be seen. I didn't know what happened to it, but I could picture that it just poofed out of existence when the boss fight was done. Not ascending with me. Quite tragic. But at the end of the day, it was good that I didn't go in there with my tech suit and other valuables. So, you know, you always gotta see a positive. And that's just what I did. Day 152, and it was back to Origin killing. Such riveting content! But this day I also finally tried out Satan's Fury. And this demonic Reaper Empress was shockingly strong. Extravagant damage numbers, dealing over 1 million damage per bite, and killing Origins in less than 5 seconds. Just look at this. This Empress was the all-powerful one. Nothing could stop us with this team. Right? I mean, right. Yeah, Origins, they didn't stand a chance against us. 3 Dire Bears, 3 Spinos, melted through in less than a minute. Satan's Fury was an extremely strong creature, as you can see. But once more, the damage numbers were the craziest part about this. And while fighting another artifact to ascend it, my PC started fighting for its life. I mean, just listen to this. Nearing the end of day 153, I crafted the Ascended Celestial Emperor Summon, and fought him during the night. Like usual, I just flew above it, launching spirit orbs on it. But this guy, Mr. Blue Boy Ascended, was prepared for this.
Oh, don't panic, don't panic. Do panic, do panic! What do I do? Oh my god, that's scary. Stun me, stun me, stun me. What do I do? My entire inventory is full of trash. Oh my god, no, it is way too risky to go down to ground. This. Come on, fly. Fly, little bumblebee, fly! Good, little bumblebee. Yes, bumblebee, yes! Blue heavens! I didn't get jack shit. Wait, I didn't get anything.
That's unlucky. Blue boy glitched out and didn't give me the package with the souls. And so I just cheat spawned a couple of souls for me. Hey, okay, yeah, I understand. I might say this is cheating and unfair, but I find it more unfair that I didn't get anything at all from this. So don't go going down in the comments calling me a cheating scumbag. You'd do the same thing had you been in my position. Oh, to a different matter. Something quite unfortunate happened with my breathers.
No.
Anyways, after that it was back to primal killing, as I was short on their souls now. And so primal after primal after primal fell at the hands of the Shadow Reborn. Day 157, and after killing a bunch more Origin Rexes with Satan's Fury, and even a Primal Dragon which somehow arrived at my meter, I fought another Dire Bear and a Wyvern, and crafted 2 new Nova Summons. This was going to be good. 2 flies and 1 smack kind of good, as I could just fight both of them at the same time and let both of them die by the same attacks. It took very long to deal with both of them, but eventually the first one bit the dust, and soon after, number 2 crumbled as well. Now, I had 2 new Nova tokens, and 2 new baby Novas to hatch. Also, I mean, look at that number. 69.
Nice.
Anyways, I had also gotten another demonic dissension item, and turned Abaddon into a fallen demonic thorny dragon. Day 158, I crafted the first pieces of Apex boss kibble, and went out looking, eventually finding a female Apex Manticore that I wanted to tame. And so I shot the arrow, and watched it go to sleep. And there we have it, first Apex boss tamed. Now all I had to do was just wait for it to lay some eggs, and then I could finally tame a Spirit or Chaos boss. I also got more kibble, and then found another Manticore on the map, which I knocked out and tamed as well. Day 160, and another Nova was summoned up. And at first I tried using my Chaos Wyvern, which did deal a lot more damage than my bee, but it was extremely inconvenient to use. I then tried using my Bumblebee, but I just couldn't see myself sitting here, only dealing 11,000 damage per tick. So mid-fight, funnily enough, I went out and tamed a Chaos Bee, of all things. Now it's real lucky I'm playing this server solo now, as if a different player triggered this Nova toward my base, then I would surely be in a lot of trouble. Oh yeah, and this bee, right? Well, this bee also didn't really do that much damage. And it got obliterated by Nova.
Oh! Oh, what?
So I was back to using the Bumblebee, when the most unfortunate thing happened, as Nova sank to the bottom of the Pacific. You can really tell I've lost my mind here. Rather than just sticking to Bumblebee in this man, I used 3 different creatures to fight it. And I even tried to Nova the Nova with my own Nova underwater. But the knockback from my Nova knocked back to Nova so far that Nova couldn't fight Nova anymore. Well, that was a little bit confusing. So, now what? What do I do now? Well, see, that's the thing. I got a Chaos Rex settle, got a Chaos Orb, and I tamed a Chaos Rex level 260. As this guy could swim, launch Chaos Orbs, and possibly be very good against Nova.
Yes, it can use the balls, okay.
After taming it, I gave it a max experience potion, and pumped about 77 levels into melee.
Oh, this is strong. This is like a beefcake.
Then I traveled back to where the Nova had sunk down, and started destroying it with my Chaos Rex, which went surprisingly well. Nova didn't aggro to me, and allowed me to just spit Chaos Orbs onto it. Better yet was the fact that it rarely moved around, so it stayed in my Chaos Orb's lingering damage pool for quite some time. Whenever my Chaos Rex had run out of stamina, I simply potted it up, to just throw it out again once it had regained it. And this was my strategy, which worked wonders. and toward the end of day 161, it too had bit the dust, meaning we now had every Nova token required to fight each and every Colossus. Unfortunately, I still had to fight one more Nova. Yeah, not done yet, as Pikkon's Revenge also needed a Nova token to be summoned. But let's not worry about Pikkon's Revenge just yet, as I now needed to fight a couple of creators for their tokens. Now why I fought the Novas before the creators is simple, as I wanted that Chaos or Spirit Manticore before fighting the creator, as I hoped that I could deal more damage and kill them easier with such a creature. So day 162, I went out taming more alpha bosses again, resulting in more alpha egg production, which meant I could tame more apex bosses for an increase in apex egg production. I also fought another artifactor with my Chaos Rex, which didn't really go all too well. This was not good. This was not good. So I crafted tech armor, got soul balls and my soul gun, and I tried to save my Chaos Rex. I couldn't lose this guy so quickly just after getting him. And after saving my Rex in a soul ball, I just got onto a PT, got a fabricated sniper rifle, dinged the oversized Megatherium in the head, and lured it down to the bottom of the sea. Then, now, I just had to kill it with my Chaos Rex. Same thing like Nova. And after killing it and getting all the artifacts, it was back to grinding out blood, origins, and primals again. In between days, I had also set up a new kind of aircon, breeding area, hatching facility thing. I got a new cliff platform, new air conditioners, and the Apex Rexes making eggs. I had also crafted more kibble, because the orbs needed to get the Pikkon summons require elemental, demonic, and celestial kibble. Day 164, the following day. And after killing some more origins, sucking their life out of them like a slushy, I tamed another Apex boss, the Apex Dodo Rex. Day 165, I summoned another Artifacto, and this time purposefully sank it to the bottom of the sea, to once more cheese it with my Chaos Rex. Now, hopefully I had collected enough artifacts for the remainder of these days, and I didn't need to go out killing another one of these annoying Megatheriums. Day 167, and man, it was good that I tamed that Chaos Rex. Just fantastic, as it melted right through these origins, like if they were nothing more than butter. And after killing some more with my Empress, I heard some faint explosions. And there it was, the Chaos Manticore. I wanted this guy to be tamed, alright, because I had just made 3 Pikkon the Creator summons, so this came at a perfect time. So I crafted up Celestial and Demonic Kibble, made Chaos Orbs, and then I only needed 3 more Apex Boss Eggs to craft the Chaos Kibble. I also wanted to craft its armor, but was short on polymer? What? You're joking with me? So, funny enough, I went penguin killing, I guess. Day 171, and I discovered something kinda cool about my cave.
I just now come into this room, and I just now see this, and we've been living here like the entire time. But there's been like look, this is a church. There's a secret passage. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. I never knew.
Anyways, after the discovery of the church, I got the Manticore saddle before crafting the very expensive Chaos Boss Kibble. Now this Manticore tame better be worth it, if not I'm going to be really sad, and this would not help me maintain my somewhat okay mental health. Gosh, this adventure has been mentally taxing. Gave this guy a maximum experience potion, and then I tried it out on a Primal Raptor.
Okay, that one has like a little bit of a AoE damage, right? Wait. Are you telling me this DPS is lower than my Nah, surely this isn't worse than my Chaos Wyvern. Surely this isn't worse.
I refuse to give up on this Manticore, okay? So much time and effort went into getting it, so I refuse to believe that it wasn't good. So I got my Pikkon summons, and fought the first creator out of 3. And oh, my worst fear came to life.
Nope. Excuse me? Nope. And down we go again. Such bullshit, man.
It sucks to say this, but Icarus, my Chaos Manticore was very, very weak. Like even my Chaos Wyvern was dealing more damage to it. Making the thing I just spent, what did I say, 25 days grinding? Yeah, it made a 25-day grind useless. However, this flying blobfish wouldn't live. And I came up with a new strat.
Alright, here we go. What? What?
Well, that sucks. I guess Pikkon can kill you off your mount, and I kinda forgot about that tiny little detail about the fight. Luckily, I had health potions for days, so round 2, I had potions in inventory and hotbar, potions in Nova's inventory, and fought the blobfish once more. My damage output was good, and the fish was losing HP rather quickly. But this turned out to be far more stressful of a fight than I hoped it to be, consuming potion after potion, balancing the time between each so I didn't die again. And I needed to deal more damage, but I couldn't worry about that now. And after an intense battle that lasted well into day 172, Pikkon knocked me out.
No, not the water!
But all Pikkon did was now just prolong the inevitable. As I got on the ledge, unputted my Nova, and fired at will. And finally, it was defeated. 1 down, 2 more to go. But rather than using Nova for this fight, I summoned the strength of Satan's unholy fury, powered her up, and went into battle.
Oh my goodness, that is shredding it. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Look at the health bar! Look at the health bar! What is that health bar doing? It's just disappearing utterly.
And to think that my Empress was stronger than my Nova. This blobfish was going down, even though it took a break like mid-battle and decided to just float through the air. I was doing massive amounts of damage with the spider now, but this Pikkon also had 1 or 2 tricks up his sleeve, knocking me around like crazy, bouncing from rock to sea.
Where am I? I flew away.
But there was no giving up. Returning into battle, I had it below 1 billion HP. And from there on out, it just became one intense battle. 100 million, 70, 60, 40, and dead. At the evening, I fought the final people, confident, maybe even a tad overconfident, that I could defeat her. And I made one crucial mistake during the battle. Can you guess what that was?
No! No! I didn't power up!
Now, without my power up, which gave my Empress reduced damage, it got melted rather quickly by Pikkon. Getting back my stuff was no easy feat with its minions and attacks, but eventually I managed. I got my stuff, ran away from all the drones, and I went into battle with Nova.
Man, that sucks. Satan goes out after 70 days. Finally a worthy death. Died in battle. Died with honor and glory.
Dead at last! The 3rd Pikkon defeated. And guess what? It dropped the egg. So I wasted no time incubating it and hatching it up.
Oh! Oh, why are you so big? You're so big!
Alright, now what's next on the agenda? Well, I crafted some Chaos and Spirit Orbs, and I crafted the 2nd Colossus. The Fire one.
Fire Colossus it is. The one that I was dreading the most.
But before fighting it, on day 174, I had made a little slight server change.
Let's see if it worked. Yeah, I took the damage numbers off. Because I knew that was going to be like really difficult with like this end game where it's just like so many particles and damage numbers.
Anyways, with that out of the way, I took Destroyer into battle against the Fire Colossus, king of all things fire and magma and ember related. The fire treat I had crafted up for it wanted here, making my Nova completely fire resistant, so all of its fire related attacks became obsolete. I mean, it could still damage me, but a large portion of its DPS was counted out, which was just perfect. And I was destroying the fire guy. Sure, there were some nerve-wracking moments in the battle, but ultimately, it too a bit of dust. Or, better said, it too did the ashes and the smoke smoldered to dust.
That marks 2 out of 4 done.
Then it was time to fight the next Colossus, the electric one. Now, since I had easily defeated the Cosmic Fire Colossus, this kind of distorted my expectations for the other Colossus, as I thought the electric would also just be a simple walk in the park.
I gave my thing the treat.
Let me tell you something, it was not. This boss was anything from a walk in the park. I was struggling a lot in this.
How?
The electric treat I gave my Nova didn't work, and I was getting killed, stunned over and over again. But then, I had it. Oh, well, I think I had it. The strategy I came up with was getting the Colossus stuck between the cliffs and the rocks, and to have my Nova in the water. Because this way, if I were to get dismounted by its minions, they couldn't kill me underwater. Because they're flyers, right? With this newfound strategy, I safely avoided being killed once more, and defeated it the morning of day 176. Now, I was just one Colossus left, the Ice Colossus, and I hope to God that this would do better than the electric one.
No, why? I literally took it! Oh no, we're not going to have this again, are we?
Nope, as Ice Colossus was also a pain in the ass. Had an ice treat which should have prevented me from being frozen solid, but that didn't happen. So here we go again. This time I tried to replicate the previous strategy I used to defeat the electric Colossus with this icy one. So I tried to capture the tension and lure it over to the cliffs. This guy was impossible to deal with, and to make matters worse, the cliff strategy didn't even work. I was losing my mind. I do a bit of damage, he summons the minions, I die. And that just repeated and repeated over and over again. Until I finally got this guy stuck and flabbergasted. This guy didn't know what to do. Which I made great use of. Finally, the last Colossus fell. And there we have it. All the Colossus dead. Pikkon was raised and ready to go toward the end of day 177. So I tested its abilities out on a Primal Carno. It was quite alright. But the thing I thought was most notable about it was its really high health pool, exceeding 14 million HP. And on day 178, it was back to grinding out Origins. I couldn't yet fight the final boss of the game, Pikkon's Revenge, just yet, as I still needed to defeat a Nova and a Pikkon for their tokens. This meant that I had to kill 6 of each Origin types before finally being done. So I got to it, summoning up a bunch before attempting to fight them with my Chaos Rex. I would have really liked to have my Empress at the time like this, and it was a real tragedy that she had to go. Eventually I also killed a couple of Origin Wyverns and got more Spinal Summons. Then I also raised a new Nova the Destroyer, to act as a backup in case Destroyer died. But this guy, this backup, actually got leveled better than my actual main Nova, which made the backup stronger than my Destroyer. And it's not like this was insignificant, no, not at all. This wasn't just a slight change. The backup had over 2000% more damage than my main. Actually, scrap everything I just said about me needing 6 sets of Origins. It's actually 4, as I still had some Emperor souls in my crafting table. So all I needed were the souls from the Empress and from just a couple more origins. So I got 2 Empress summons and fought them both at the same time. And my gosh darn mother of the Lord, this Chaos Rex absolutely obliterated them. Toward the evening, I went out and began killing primals again, for their souls and blood. I looked far and wide, killing every primal in sight. Day 180. I found and killed another wild origin on my home mountain. That day I also crafted 2 chaos and 2 spirit orbs, enough for each of the bosses. And yeah, you can really tell just how much this mod has affected me and how careless I've grown, as I legit spawned an origin in my base rather than outside. I then used its token to craft a Nova Summon, spawn it above water, and let it sink to the bottom of the sea. And then I just Chaos Rex cheesed this boss fight. Now, the only thing left was another creator, so I got to it, getting primals and origins killed, before using my bloods to craft up more origin summons. Day 182, and I raised up another backup Nova, but it was still weaker than my first backup. Fun enough, you'd think I'd be done with this, but I went ahead and harvested berries of my favorite tribe, or more specifically, I farmed up Mijo berries, as this way I could make more healing potions. Day 183, and a wild Argentavis was finally killed, before funnily enough stumbling across an Ice Titan. That's funny, and way below my league, so I killed it really easily. Then I just put my Apex creatures out in the breeding facility again, as I wanted their blood so that I could easily just summon up the 2 remaining origins. An Origin Raptor and a Rex. And then I just massacred my Apex fellows, and got the last origin summons. Numero 1, Numero 2. And I got the final Pikkon summon. Now if you remember correctly, Pikkon was very annoying to fight, because he simply flew away mid-battle sometimes. So this time, I decided to fight Pikkon in the volcano on Orgon. I had also swapped out my plan A for my plan B, the backup. And damn, this Nova was f***ing Pikkon up, melting through its HP like nothing. But kind of forgot about one crucial little detail. My teleporter.
No! My teleporter! Oh, I didn't think it's... Oh, that was...
We had done it. We had defeated all the Novas, all the Pikkons, and all the origins we needed to kill. We have defeated every single Colossus. The Cosmic, the Fire, the Electric and Ice Colossus. They were all dead. There was just one single enemy, standing between me and eternal gamer paradise.
Well, we've done it. We have played through Primal Fear. Now we have one more boss standing between us. But finally being done.
For this fight, I put out all of my most memorable creatures to aid me. I then got every treat and every player buff in the game. And day 186, I was ready to fight Pikkon's Revenge, the final boss of the game.
Alright! My whole army has been just destroyed. My whole army is dead. My Pikkon is still alive. Pikkon is still alive. Come on, Pikkon! No! No! Come on, 900 million! No, Pikkon! So close to being through with this. No, we need stamina! And I've done it!
Primal Fear completed. Pikkon's revenge had been defeated. And with it, it marked the end of Primal Fear. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a funny comment saying something like this. Wow, ILegend, you're a crazy man or something. I don't know. And now, there's only one thing left to say. Goodbye. For now.